So, what's up, everybody? I just wanted to do a quick live, talk a little bit about this game coming up, and just ramble on about the game, TJ Watt injury, and some Steelers talk, man. Let's just get into it, man. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button before I start this stream and really getting into it. Hopefully, some people will start rolling in here. I think I need to get me a little intro video or something, some Donnie Iris or something. We got to thank the all powerful Rooney Father in heaven that has 6 rings for this upset victory over the Cincinnati Bengals in the great ghost of Byron Cope, yoy and double yoy. That is the Pittsburgh Steelers prayer. And we were able to pull off a prayer and a miracle over the Cincinnati Bengals with all those missed field goals and extra points, and how crazy that game was. And they could have challenged the play at the end of the game that probably would have won them the game, but they didn't challenge the play. So here we are at 1-0, first in the AFC North, and there's not one person I think in the world that had Pittsburgh being sitting number one at the AFC North after Week 1, squaring off with the reigning AFC North Division champion AFC Cincinnati Bengals. All right, I don't think nobody predicted that to come, but here it is. And here we are, but we're down TJ Watt going up against the New England Patriots, whatever you want to call it, the Asterix. I like to call them the Asterix. Some people like to call them the Cheatriots. I like to call them the Asterix because that's all their franchise is one big asterisk. Let's be completely honest. But they're a good organization. They're tied with Pittsburgh with the most Super Bowl rings. Like I said, asterisk, but it is what it is. They have that record. It's in the books. It's written down, even though, like I said, there should be quite a few asterisks next to those rings. But, it is what it is. You got to protect the golden boy, Tom Brady. It is, change the rules for the golden boy, Tom Brady. Let the golden boy do whatever he wants, face of the NFL. But I'm honestly more scared against the Patriots than I am going in against the Bengals. Honestly, I was confident as hell going in that game. As soon as I seen not one fucking person Pittsburgh, I was like, they're gonna come in and they're gonna win this fucking game. They're not gonna take that disrespect lightly, and they rose to the occasion and got the big win over the Bengals. And they had some big injuries. We had some big injuries. I mean, we're coming into this game with no TJ Watt. It's looking like he'll be out 4 to 6 weeks, is from what I'm seeing. Some people said it was going to be the whole season. Now I'm seeing people saying it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks. Mike Tomlin and the team hasn't really came out with nothing official yet. So who knows what the deal is with TJ Watt. If TJ Watt's going to be out for the rest of the season, that's a major injury to overcome that I don't know if the Steelers defense can overcome because of all the positions on this Pittsburgh Steelers roster. Depth-wise, I'd say outside linebacker we have the least depth at, which is crazy to me because your highest paid player on the team, you got to have a backup plan for your highest paid player on the team. Just like you need to have a backup plan at quarterback, you got to have a backup plan for your highest paid player on your team, and that's TJ Watt, the best the reigning defensive player of the year, MVP, whatever you want to call it, just tied Michael Strahan's record. And we just gave him a major contract last year for like $28 million per year. So that's $28 million that's going to be sidelined in 4 to 6 weeks for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm scared. I mean, the Patriots offense didn't look good. They only put up 7 points, I believe. So it's not like, I think Mac Jones is going to have problems against this defense, but our offense didn't do shit. And if there's one thing that Bill Belichick does and the New England Patriots do year in, year out, and that's play defense. I don't really know what they're working with on defense, but I know religiously and consistently New England always has good defensive backs and a good defense. So I'm sure their defense is good. They're going to play good defense, and there's going to be good schemes. So are they going to be able to force turnovers in this game? I haven't really listened to too much Filipponi or Mark Madden. I'm sure they're already going off the rails. I mean, Filipponi said Kenny Pickett, basically Pony before the game said Kenny Pickett was going to be starting the game halfway through the game. Mitchell Trubisky was going to be benched, and the Steelers were going to lose like 35-6 or something like that. Pony was talking mad shit on Pittsburgh, trolling on Twitter. So I'm sure he's going to be out there with the hot takes saying Kenny Pickett should start, Kenny Pickett should start. But the key to that game was turnovers. And honestly, Kenny Pickett probably could have pushed the ball down the field and maybe got a little bit more going on offense. But at the same time, I think he would not have protected the ball like, say, a Mitchell Trubisky did. One thing Mitchell Trubisky did is he protected the ball and he didn't turn the ball over. I mean, the offensive line was terrible. They wasn't getting any gaps for Najee Harris. Them end arounds were working okay, but I really don't even like the end arounds. You're doing end arounds with an offensive line that can't even get you a little Najee, a little gap up the middle. And we're trying to run end arounds. If you want to run end arounds, your offensive line's going to have time. And we really don't got no time. Trubisky really don't got no time in the pocket, so hopefully he can start doing a little bit more with his legs and start thinking in the run the ball and understand that, he ain't going to have that much time in the pocket. He's going to have to get out of the pocket, and he's going to have to make some things work, that's not on time, kind of like Ben used to do. Ben was the best at making just plays out of nothing, off time, off rhythm. When the play breaks down, just backyard football type shit. Ben was like the best, just one of the best to ever do it when it comes to that. Rolling out and just making a big throw off the scramble. So hopefully Trubisky can bring some of that to this offense, or maybe it is time for Kenny Pickett because the offense was terrible. I mean, the defense was the only reason Pittsburgh won that game. And without TJ Watt in this game, maybe Mac Jones can get just at least just a little bit going. And our offense, if it played like that against Cincinnati, against New England, it's not going to be good. I don't think Mac Jones is going to turn the ball over like Joe Burrow did. I think Bill Belichick is going to be running a very conservative. It's going to be a very conservative game offensively. Both sides of the ball, very conservative, a lot of dink and dunk, a lot of just long methodic drives, and a lot of punting. I think is going to happen in this game, and then it's going to come down to the turnover battle. Which team does not turn the ball over in this game, and who can protect the ball better, Mitchell Trubisky or Mac Jones, and who can get the ball going on the ground? Hopefully, Najee gets it going on the ground, and our run defense steps up because we held Joe Mixon. Even though Joe Mixon had some yards on the ground, we held Joe Mixon under like 3 yards per carry. And Joe Mixon's a beast of a back. He's like definitely a top fantasy back and one of the best backs in the league. And we held him to 2.5 yards per carry. So, you know, hopefully that theme continues against New England because we definitely cannot let New England run the ball because Mac Jones, let's be honest, he's not a good quarterback. So if we get Mac Jones in third and long situations, even without TJ Watt, I think Cam Hayward, Ojanobi, Tyson Alualu, we have a very deep defensive line, and Highsmith was playing very well in that game against Cincinnati. So hopefully Highsmith can step up, get a sack or two, get Mac Jones in third and long situations, and this secondary is looking good. I mean, Witherspoon stepped up, was making plays. Sutton was out there making plays. Minka was out there making plays. Terrell Edmonds was out there making plays. Miles Jack was out there making plays. This defense is fast. This defense got a lot of strength in power up front, especially on the defensive line. Speed at the inside linebacker position. Power with Alex Highsmith, and definitely a ton of power with TJ Watt. But that's the key. That's the mainstay. That's the staple. Who's going to step up in TJ Watt's place? Are they going to make a move for TJ Watt? Are they going to do something to get some more talent in there for TJ Watt? I don't know. If it's only 4 to 6 weeks, the Steelers, they probably won't do nothing. And they'll just next man up. Tomlin's going to say next man up. Maybe they might sign a guy for cheap or something. I'd say that's about all the Steelers are going to do is sign a guy for cheap. They ain't going to make no trades. I'd say trade Rudolph and some draft picks. Benny Snell. Rudolph, Benny Snell, and a draft pick and get us somebody that can come in. And even when TJ comes back, you got a guy that can come off the bench and provide depth. I mean, come on, man. And who knows if he'll get injured again. TJ is such a big part of the defense. And Highsmith is not that great anyway. So you have a guy that's willing to come behind Highsmith and get some reps off the bench to spell Highsmith and Watt occasionally. It is, or be the guy that steps up when an injury does happen. That's what that guy's going to have to be, and hopefully he'll accept that role. Unlike Ingram, when we signed him and we had to trade him like not even halfway through the goddamn season. So it's crazy that Pittsburgh's 1-0, but we're 1-0. first in the AFC North. I think we should beat New England. I don't know what the line is on this game, but I think Pittsburgh should be favored in this game by 2.5. I honestly believe Pittsburgh should be favored by 2.5. I'll have to check the lines. I might do week 1 pick or whatever, week 2 picks. I don't know. Do some more streams. I don't know. But I just wanted to get a quick stream up here, do a quick live, 10 minutes. That's usually how I like to keep it. And get my rant in. I might do a play-by-play reaction. I don't know, because a couple people joined in and were giving good comments on the play-by-play, so I might do the play-by-play against the Patriots because I hate the Patriots. And I'm definitely not as confident coming into this game as I was against Cincinnati. This game is going to be a dogfight. This, like I said, I think is going to be conservative offensive game for both teams. And it's just going to come down to who can run the ball and who can win a turnover battle. And Mitchell Trubisky has the experience over Mac Jones, so you got to hope and think that Mitchell Trubisky is going to do what he does and just be that game manager type of quarterback of what they're asking him and expecting of him. And hopefully he comes in this game, doesn't turn the ball over. Najee starts to get it going on the ground a little bit. Deontay Johnson made some plays, but he didn't make enough plays. And Claypool had a lot of good end-around plays, but other than that, receiving-wise, he didn't really do too much. So you want to see more out of Claypool in the receiving game, more out of Deontay Johnson in the receiving game, and definitely a lot more out of Najee Harris. And the offensive line needs to get better. And I think, they will get better throughout the season. It's a young offensive line, and I think, they can only get better from here. And hopefully it starts with New England. So here we go. Steelers, let's get this big win. Let's go to 2-0, and then it's on to Cleveland, I believe. And I can't wait for that game.